Welcome back to Global News Morning. Always good to see you and always good to check in with our good friend Matt Lee. And we're here to talk about Kingston and region real estate stats for the month of May and looking at the previous 2 Mays as well. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing very well. And when we talk about Kingston and region, it encompasses a large area of Eastern Ontario.
Yeah, so we're talking about Frontenac County, we're talking about Lennox and Addington, and we're also talking about Leeds and Grenville. So those are the 3 major areas we're talking about. And the type of real estate that we are talking about is residential, multifamily, farms, and vacant land. So really the residential side of things, and bringing in the multifamily as well, which is usually residential. So.
Well, the number of active listings has increased in the past year, looking at this previous May and last year's May.
That's correct. So if we look at it and we say, 2020, we had 1,151 listings. Last year, it dropped dramatically. In 2021, there was a lot of activity that, we weren't really able to go very many places. Real estate was really hot. So our market only had 657 listings active. This year, in May, we had 867. So we are not back up to what we were in 2020, and that was even on the lower side if we went back further, but we are higher than last year, so there is a little more of a variety. There is a little more the ability to see a few different homes, which is nice.
Yeah, things are changing a little bit. Number of sales.
Back in 2020 we had 346 sales. So when you look at almost 1,200 listings and 346 sales, that was, you had a variety. You had a healthy market. Last year, there was 657 listings on the market. 490 of that market sold. So we had 490 sales in 2021. So that was a very heavy, hot market. We're still relatively there. We're looking at this and we say 867 listings, 458 sold. So that's still over 50%. That is a really good market. And yeah, we're kind of seeing that again, leveling off to a healthy but driven market.
And like last year, it's not going to stay on the market very long.
No, 2020 we were looking at 21 days. Last year was 8 days, and again, we're at 8 days again from last month. So basically, we're seeing the 8 days last month, but also last May was the same. It was 8 days, so it's kind of continuing along that same trend. So that means some houses are selling very quickly. Some may take a little bit longer, but that's where we're seeing the median there.
What do you take away from the next stat, and that is close price to list price ratio?
If we go back a few years and we talked about the close price to list price, we saw 97 to 99. In the past 3 years, we have seen the increase. So in 2020, it was 98.8%. Last year, it was 104.4. So we got up to that 105. And I think that actually, if we looked at different months, we actually got up to about 108. So there was a 8% increase over the actual asking price. And then last month, May was 102.3%. There are a number of properties that are going over asking price, but that number has shrank a little bit.
Right.
It could be for different reasons. Are people asking more on their list price and the buyers aren't going so far over? Or is there a negotiation happening where maybe they're not holding offers and they're trying to negotiate down? So you really have to look at all across that. And, different parts of the city are going to see different things. Some are going to see that price drive up and the percentage could be higher. It just depends on what you're looking at. You need to talk to the agent about where you're looking and start there.
Yeah, every case is going to be different for sure.
That's
Median
right.
sale price. Now, this continues to move up in the past year.
That's correct. So if we go back to 2020, we looked at a median average price of $385,000. Last year, there was this huge jump, and it went from, so 2021 May was $530,000 from the 385. 2022, we are at $606,000. And it does seem like a big number. we are seeing that lower interest rates, lower inventory. People have been asking how the market is faring because they are hearing that things are slowing in outer areas. Toronto is a big one that things are slowing, and they're writing articles in the Globe and Mail about it. So February and March, we had an average median price. I apologize, median price of $651,100, and then $650,000. So those 2 months were a $650,000 median price. Now we're at 606. So we're seeing that has cooled a bit. We're looking at a percentage change, and we just have to look at it and say, okay, we are seeing a leveling, and we are seeing that market kind of pick up. But gas prices, food prices, all of these things that are happening, people are starting to really look at it and see where their expenses are going to lie.
It's going to be an interesting several months ahead to see where these numbers are going to be.
That's correct. Interest rates are going to come into play. And food, gas, all of these inflation pieces will come into play when we're looking at our real estate. And but things are looking good. There are still a number of buyers looking, and it seems like there's a healthy amount of listings coming on. So it seems to be more of a healthy market.
Okay. Always good to catch up with you, my friend. We thank you so much. Be well, be safe.
Thank you. Take care.
Real Estate Tips, brought to you by Matt Lee of Royal LePage.